Hey everybody, it's me, Robert Jones, back with a new video. This is an update on the beater shotgun project. It's entitled Lock, Stock, and Barrel. As you see, I got the guts of the Remington 870 laid out here in front of me. First, I'll start with the lock, which means initially the receiver. I got all the parts, pull out of the receiver, and I had to do a few things. I'm gonna have to get a replacement part. See, what happened was I took apart the trigger housing. The action slide stop. Well, when I have to take this out, you actually have to grind down, or file down in this case, this pin. This is called the hammer pin online. And you can find this part on. Bring it close to the camera. You can find this part on Midway. That's where I'm actually gonna have to order a new part. And this is the washer that holds the hammer pin in place. So I had to take a file and grind down, or I had to mill down this pin so I can get this out because it's staked in place. Normally it's longer than this. What they do is they flare out the end, and that's how it keeps this washer in place, keeping this is the hammer, keeping the hammer and the action slide lock contained into the trigger housing. So I'm gonna have to replace that part. Another part I'm gonna have to replace, because when I take this gun apart, I like to try to take everything. I like to try to disassemble everything I can, and in the process, this is a spring that acts on this part. See, this square part hooks onto the front of the trigger housing, so it goes in place like this. Let's see if I can get it set up. There we go. It fits in place like that. Can't really see it because the carrier is in the way, but you see right here, it was longer. What happened when I tried to take it out, it broke. So I'm gonna replace that as well. I'm also gonna get that part off of Midway. Remove this. Another thing I did was upon taking apart the bolt, I filed down, using this file, down any rough spots. So any rough parts along the top part of the bolt, along the bottom edge, along the actual locking mechanism. There were some rough parts on there. I try to get everything smooth as possible, but not too smooth to where it would interfere with proper function. Also here showing the receiver. Yeah, it turns out this was painted over. Whoever had the gun before, they painted over they took off the express finish, which is a matte finish, or it's a Parkerized finish. They ground that all. I guess they ground out all that off. Maybe could have been because of rust issues. Because it wasn't taken care of properly, and they spray painted over this. In fact, I'm gonna chip some of this paint off. You can see some of it right now is removed. I'll go on this side, and also I don't know if you can tell, but there's a lot of, it looked like someone sat this on a towel when it was finished being painted, but I scratched that off. Yeah, so that comes off. What I plan to do with this is basically just take all the old finish off. I might do that tonight, and it's gonna be most likely gonna be bare metal. My goal is to try to keep this as lubricated as I can to keep rust from getting to the surface. And then someday down the line, I may have this Parkerized. If not Parkerized, Duracoated at least. Also, here's a slide. You can see there's some pitting spots. It was there was quite a bit of rust on this part. Also, the end of the slide tube was dented, so I had a hard time getting the forearm nut off. um, Another thing I did was I took some of the sharp edges, or some of the dull edges off the slide rails. So I took a file and I just ran it across like this, very carefully. Only in the spots where I knew it would not inhibit firearm operation. So I kind of just basically slicked this up a bit. Now the stock. Let me move the. Oh, by the way, I got my GoPro mounted on. I got it jerry-rigged onto my grandparents' old camcorder tripod and some zip ties. But I'll show you right here, the laminated stock. I'm thinking about using this. I fixed that chip that was knocked out of the corner of the stock, out of the heel. It's the heel of the stock, and I got some. It's like binary putty. I've had this stuff for maybe 6 years, and it still works. But basically, what it is, you cut a piece off and you knead it. So you get like this. You get like the kind of a pale color, and it's kind of a doughy consistency. And you mold it over, any wood. And then as it hardens up, you can take some sandpaper, which I did, and mill it down and contour it to however you need to. And that's what I did with the heel of the stock. So I'm actually planning on using this stock again. This is the original stock that came on the gun. I do like the laminated wood. If you don't know what laminated wood is, basically is where they take very, very thin sheets of wood and they glue them together and compress it and wait till it dries, and that's how you have like this pattern. Because it's different woods compressed together, or it's different cuts of wood compressed together. It gives you this nice finished look. So yeah, I plan on stripping all the old finish off this stock, and I'm looking for either the same stuff I use in my Mossberg, or I want to get like American walnut, like a nice brown color. I think it would be nice for this stock. For the forearm, I'm gonna do the same thing for this gouge right here. I'm gonna try to fill it in with the binary putty, or maybe just sand this down a little bit, because there's enough material here. It's quite thick. And then we'll do the same thing, strip all the old finish off, and have it match the stock. Now, this is gonna be the big part, the barrel. Turns out, now there are many things wrong. There's many things that this barrel has been. I can see that it's been through. Right here, there's a bulge. There's a slight. The metal feels raised a bit, because whoever put this choke on forced it on. I don't think this was the right choke for this barrel. Let's see. As I mentioned before, there's some gouging marks right here at the towards the muzzle. And I don't know if you can tell, but this rib has been crushed. Compared to how the other ribs look, this one is actually crushed. You can see where it's, like someone actually, like I said, put it in a vise. You look on this end, you can see some of the light that passes through, and it's totally uneven. You can see that red dot right there. That's why I marked a spot for the bead sight to go. Because what I decided to do, and it'll be the first time I'll do this. I will show it on another video, but I'm gonna cut this barrel down to 18.5 inches. I'm gonna cut it down I'm gonna cut it right above this this section of the rib. We'll cut this. What I plan on doing is cut this section out with a Dremel tool. And now I've heard different things about how to do this, but I'm thinking about using a pipe cutter. Now, from what I heard about using a pipe cutter is that it has the risk of compressing the metal. But what I plan on doing is using a pipe cutter to at least have it etch a marking around all the way around, and then go at with a hacksaw. That way, at least, like I say, I have somewhat of a consistent cut. I'm gonna have it mounted in that, obviously in the bench vise, which I just got that in the mail today. But yeah, I plan on going over this with a pipe cutter and then going over this with going all the way through with a hacksaw. And there's a tool I might buy. It's it's a crown facing tool, or a muzzle. It's like a muzzle leveling tool that you put on an electric drill, and it will basically get everything square, because I like to have this thing as square as possible. So I'm not gonna throw this barrel out. I believe I'm gonna save this barrel, because up to this part right here, there's still some usable, it still has some good material. So I guess I decided I'm gonna do a home defense shotgun build and cut this thing down to 18.5 inches. Or maybe have it at 19 inches. I just don't want to get rid of this section of the rail, and then cut it down the middle. But so far, lock, stock, and barrel. That's what I have planned for this shotgun. If you got any tips or any advice for anyone who may be attempting a project like this, please share in the comment section and make a video response, or even include a link to another video on another channel. I'm having a good time with this project. It's not the first shotgun I've worked on doing something like this. Actually, in fact, the first Remington 870 I ever bought, I did similar work to it. The only thing I didn't do was I didn't cut a barrel down. It was already cut down when I purchased it. But that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is an update video on the beater shotgun project, lock, stock, and barrel. I'm Edward Jones, and thanks for watching.